Hey, what's up guys? We're back. Okay, video 2. We did the first video was a little bit about the hike and community gear. This video is non-community gear. This is stuff you need to carry, you need to pick up, you need to buy and pack. So we got a list. We'll go down the list, show you what some of this looks like. We talked about it a little bit in the other video, but I mean, weight. So the lighter you go, the happier you will be. And the heavier you go will make you walk in the back so we can't hear you complain. So that's how this works. So, all right, start with our list and I'll kind of hold up some stuff as we...
Well, before we really dive into that, well, so first of all, Josh is right. You're probably aiming for about 40 pounds. It gets you back down to 35 pounds.
He said I'm right.
But the problem is, well, that's not a problem. It's a trade-off between weight and comfort. If you want to carry 80 pounds, you can be very comfortable when you get to camp. Josh likes to bring a chair. Show them your chair.
Chairs are critical. This is what it looks like when it folds up. I think this one's 1.5 pounds. But man, you're sitting around, you want to be sitting on something. This has a back to it. The brand is Nemo at REI. Some of you guys already have chairs. Chairs were created by God for man. So
if you don't have a chair, Josh will relentlessly offer his and then pull back the offer.
At the very minimum, like you can get these for like what, $6 on Amazon. Yeah. A little foam, something to sit on, right? So sometimes, rocks are cold at night, the ground could be a little wet. So I would recommend at least something like this. Weighs next to nothing. I trade off comfort for weight, so I love this bad boy. I bring it everywhere. Highly recommended chair. So.
All right, we're gonna run down through this list quickly. We've already mentioned it in the other video. We're gonna need a couple tents. Underneath the tent, to keep your tent from getting wet while you sleep, is a footprint to that. When you buy your tent, they'll provide that.
Yeah.
If you don't, I know the guys out in Colorado all have them. You're gonna need a sleeping bag.
Yeah. So sleeping bags, right? How cold? Like what do you 0, 15 degrees, something like that?
You can get by on this hike, I think, with a 15 to 25. The higher temperature you go, the more you risk getting cold at night.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're in the high 20s to low 30s is probably typical. So for a little bit of safety, I think it makes some sense to have a 15-degree bag. If you don't have that, you're probably able to get by with a 25-degree bag and a liner. Yeah. Is probably, so you don't have to go out and buy a second bag.
Yeah, so this is a 15-degree bag because I'm a giant. It's a long one. You can see how small this packs up, right? You don't have a ton of space, so you can't bring, the slam sleeping bag used in Boy Scouts. It's huge. So look for something that's compact. And then, yeah, like 15-degree, I think is important. It does get cold.
Yeah. And guys, we got a list here. We'll make sure everybody has this checklist. It's something I've used just over the year through accumulated knowledge.
With your sleeping bag, I think you need the mat underneath it, right? So this is the Sea to Summit one. I use this in my hammock when we're in Colorado. I use it when I'm tent camping. You need something. You need something underneath your mat that you're going to sleep on. One, it's more comfortable, but two, it's going to put one more layer of insulation between you and the ground, so hopefully keep you a little bit warmer, but again, something small, as compacted and as light as you can get it. And then the final kind of part of your sleep system is either, I think, like a pillow, or like if you use these stuff sacks, you fill it with socks or shirts or something.
Jacket.
Get your coat, your puffy coat could squeeze in here and you got a pillow. So, you're not gonna sleep fantastic, but you will take some good naps at night, and the better sleeping system you have, the better your naps are gonna be.
And that's the Sea to Summit sleeping pad is a perfect example of a weight trade-off for comfort. It's more comfortable. It's also heavier. You can also get by with just those styrofoam rolls because the most important part of that sleeping pad is it's going to keep you warmer at night.
Yeah.
So next, and I know many of you guys have this, so but for those of you who don't, these headlamps are absolutely critical. As you can imagine, it's going to be night at about 7 o'clock out there. So as we're hanging around, if you can't see, well, this brings up a good point. We're not going to be hiking in the dark. We will be in camp before dark every night, probably with some time to just hang out and have some fun.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but after dark, you're going to want a headlamp. Again, REI.
Yeah, we do a headlamp and not a flashlight. Flashlight's going to become like you need your hands, and don't bring the extra weight. So just get a headlamp, make sure it works, and you should be good.
Yeah. You're going to want to carry your typical toiletries, toothbrush, whatever you need. Lip balm, Gold Bond, hand sanitizer, that kind of thing. These are good to have. These are for digging holes. Needless to say, there aren't any toilets out in the backcountry, unlike Colorado where you can just run, so you're going to want some of that.
Yep.
And you're going to want to be able to dig a hole. So don't need a lot of these, but something you may want to pick up. I think that's probably it for the camping. What else do you have from a camping perspective? Tents, sleep systems, anything else I mentioned?
Camp shoes. I've done flip-flops. I've done Crocs, and I will tell you, the Crocs are a home run. I think they're actually lighter than most of the flip-flops. Obviously waterproof and just easy to kick around camping. So I think those are a home run. We already have stoves. We've got water. I can't think of anything else. I mean, I guess, coffee cup, home run. So
let's go to food.
Yeah, so food, we're cooking everything in these jet boils. I think you kind of make a decision. You've got 1, 2, 3 breakfasts. Three breakfasts, right? Day 2, day 3, and day 4 on the way out. 3 breakfasts, technically 4 lunches, and probably 3 dinners. I will tell you, we cook everything in these. So for every meal you're gonna have, you get something like this. We cook in our jet boils, and you're good to go. What I did last year is I didn't pack any of these for lunch. So I have one for breakfast on each day that we needed one. I have one for dinner each day that we needed one. I just kind of snacked for lunch. So that, keep some weight down, keep some trash down, but that's up to you. But you're gonna get these from online, REI, Walmart, wherever you're gonna get them. We can pick these up when we're out there.
Right. So this is everything that we're talking about. Most everything that we're talking about, we're also going to be able to get out in Wyoming. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Saturday to get all of that, and we run the risk that for some reason they're out of something that we need. So the more we can gear up here, the better be recommended.
The other thing I would say, like most of these aren't coffee, these are Gatorades, but this is what the coffee sticks look the same way. That's how we deal with coffee or tea, whatever you like at night around camp or in the morning. So, again, cooked in our jet boils, drink them out of coffee cups. Camp-wise, I think that's probably it.
Yeah. As far as the jet boils go, if anybody's taking a jet boil, just be aware with the gas canister, you're not going to be able to take those on the plane. They're probably going to pull those. So
they'll pull these.
They're going to pull those. So if you go out and have a jet boil, if you're bringing one, don't bring the gas canister.
Yeah, we'll pick those up out there.
It'd be a shame if the plane blew up when we were going down.
That is depressing.
Yeah. So we've got water filters. We talked about Nalgene. Josh mentioned you're going to want to have some kind of a cup for coffee, whatever else you need here. You're going to want to take some kind of plasticware. They make these sporks. I don't know if you have one.
No,
here.
I didn't bring any out.
You know what a spork is from elementary school. It's a fork and a spoon. Don't forget that. They're about $3. If you want to save an ounce, you can spend $65 on a titanium spork.
Don't do that.
I would not recommend that. So, bear canisters, food. We've talked about all of those things before. And again, we can get that when we get out there. We'll get you this checklist. What else do we have here? Let's go to some of the hiking stuff.
Well, something we're all going to need though. Like we're going to need to bring some cord. We're going to hang these bear boxes up, don't we?
Well, these we can just throw these out on the ground. If a bear gets at these things,
perfect.
what they're going to do is they're just going to knock them around, and they'll be 100 yards from, and they'll be all chewed up. But that's kind of cool. Doesn't hurt to have some parachute cord, so I carry some of that. It's light for the extra 2 ounces. If we run into any bad guys, we can tie them up.
There we go. All right. So yeah, go into the hiking stuff.
Yeah, as far as hiking goes, you guys have it. You're gonna want yourself a good pair of hiking poles.
Yeah.
These will also get commandeered on the plane if you cannot get them into your pack. So
they gotta go into a suitcase, man. Yeah, you got. So we can't bring these on a plane and carry on. I guess that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to pack these somehow, some way. These are Black Diamond ones from REI. I've had these for probably 10 years. I think they're home runs. They're based on size, so if you don't have poles, again, I'd go to REI, or, I mean, Sierra Trading Company's got them too, and they'll tell you on the pack, like, if you're this tall, you need this length of pole. But a lot of them either telescope or they fold down like that, and just a home run. So,
From experience, the ones that break apart into 3 sections actually fit in my bag better than the ones that break apart into 2. So, poles. Beyond that, you're not going to be able to take bear spray on the plane, but we're going to want to get some when we get out there. They've got Teton Mountaineering right in downtown Jackson is where we'll get that. If you want to bring a handgun, just know the protocols. You can bring that as well. A 9mm is not going to do anything on a bear, so just be aware. Emergency kits. We will have a couple of these. Again, I picked this up at REI. Got everything we need. Probably the biggest risk that you're gonna have is blisters. So fill it with some moleskin, take some painkillers.
yeah.
We'll have some of that for you.
Let's see what else.
And then we have, I sent it out to everybody on the text string. We do have permits. We have a place to sleep. It is a national park. They get really tight about itinerary. We'll run into a ranger at some point that'll probably ask to see it. But we got places to sleep, beautiful places to sleep. You guys are it's eye candy. You're gonna love it. Beyond that, why don't you talk about clothing a little bit?
So clothing, we're not quite sure, but you plan for it all, right? So, obviously you're going to have hiking boots, hiking socks. This is probably, I think it'd be a challenge to do this in just like running shoes, but
Don't try.
you know who you are.
Justin.
I don't know that you need a base layer. If you were a person that gets really cold, then sure, bring a base layer. Some sort of dry, fast drying hiking pants. Shirts would be the same thing. So kind of whatever you work out in, or maybe you run in. I think that stuff that wicks out is really good. I like to bring like kind of a heavy sweater or just pull over, and then I bring a puffy coat, so a warm coat, gloves, some sort of toboggan hat like this, and then I bring a raincoat. So I think we got rained on a little bit last year. Your pack should have what's called kind of like a rain shield that comes right out of it, covers your pack, but it's just nice if you can put a raincoat over top and be dry. So
Pretty much common sense stuff,
Yeah.
guys. I mean,
sort of hat, right? So if you bring the dad hat, if you're worried about, because we'll be pretty exposed, be a little bit of hiking in the woods, a lot of hiking just out of the woods. So I think a hat's a good idea.
Yeah, there's no going inside for 4 days. So we're not in a car, we're not in anything. You get wet, get cold, won't be fun. So
Sunglasses, maybe a little sunscreen if you get burnt. I said gloves, or like a gaiter or something that you could pull up over your face. Again, it just depends on how cold you get. I didn't really need a lot of that last time we were there.
one of the mistakes, can I say this?
Yeah.
One of the mistakes I think I've made. I've done this for so long. I think my first backpacking trip I did in blue jeans, so the inside of my thighs were bleeding. Everything I've learned has just been through experience, but I think one of the mistakes that people make is they overpack on clothes.
Yeah.
As far as a weight perspective and a space perspective, it's going to sound crazy. We're only out in the woods for 4 days. You can probably make it with, I know you can make it with one pair of underwear. Having a second pair is a good idea. So I usually take 2. Same thing with socks. If one pair of socks gets wet, I'll have a way to change out of my pants. Really what I'm trying to be able to do is get dry if I need to.
Yeah.
That's the key thing. Beyond that, we're just all dirty and smell and it doesn't matter. So take the stuff on the plane, but I will tell you, leave the space, leave the weight, because I've gotten to the end of the hike and go, why did I have 4 pairs of socks?
Yeah, no, I'm with Doug. I bring a little bit more, so I bring 2 extra pairs of socks, and then, but same thing. I'll bring basically 1 pair of underwear, because at some point we're gonna sit in a lake, and usually you're sitting in a lake in your underwear, so you want 1 pair to change into. Some of us, this guy. Pants. I don't think you need a second pair of pants, but if you're really worried about pants, you can bring yourself a second pair of pants. I usually hike in like a dry fit t-shirt, and I have a long sleeve version, And then, like I said, I go from right there as my pullover and then coat. So it's pretty basic, but it's just not worth carrying all that extra weight.
No, you want to be warm and dry. Those are the key. Dirty doesn't matter. So then beyond that, just your normal other stuff. If you're carrying a camera and phone, you're going to want your backup or your battery backup. You take a book or a journal or something like that. Again, we'll get this list out to you. And beyond that, it's pretty much what I had.
It, yeah. So, all right, that should be enough between these two videos to figure out your next move as far as what gear you're going to get next.
I think something that would be good to do, that if anybody wants to go to REI, they usually have enough of the equipment there where you can get 90 to even 100% of the way there on your gear list. We're going to need to communicate about community gear, and if you want to make a trip to REI, Josh or I or both of us will show up with you, just walk you through what you need. If you're going from scratch, it's going to be a couple $100 in. This is fun enough. I've been doing this. I'll keep doing this the rest of my life. That it's really an upfront investment that'll get you through, like I said, the next decade, 15 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The stuff that I have, my Jetboil is 17 years old. My backpack at this point is 13 or 14 years. It's getting a little long in the tooth, so I might replace it. But the money that you spend, you'll be able to get a lot of fun out of it.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, if you got questions, let us know. I do like the idea of if a few of you want to get together who haven't done this before and meet up at REI. I think it'll be super educational. Yeah, just let us know. Thanks, guys.
Cool.